10 minutes, so let's go for it. Okay, my name is Paul Armstrong. I run a company called Hereforth. At its simplest, that is Emerging Technology Advisory. What that means is I get to talk to people, these people, about fun things like blockchain, about nanotechnology, about marketing stuff, Facebook ads, the like. It's a big old spectrum. I didn't originally do that. Usually I did psychology at Lincoln University. Anyone here from Lincoln? No. Usually that is the exact response. It's a good uni though, trust me, it's a very good uni. Right, okie doke. I left this beautiful great island of misery when I finished uni, and I went over to live with the sunny people in California. And did lots of stuff between then and now, but I ended up working for MySpace in a couple of roles. One was child protection, boo, paedophiles, and the other one was very much, yay, marketing, stakeholder and analyst relations and that sort of stuff. We are going full screen, people. And I ended up working for Mindshare, which are mental terrorists and that sort of stuff. They're advertising agency type folk who put stuff anywhere you pay them to. I do this now, which is called all of that. You've got lots of products. I'm going to talk to you about TNN, the new normal, in a minute. You can already tell I've got a big flapping mouth, and I get to write for people like Forbes and go on the BBC and stuff like that, for lots of different things. Shall we crack on? Oh, I wrote a book last year as well. It's quite good. One person's already bought it, so that's good. Yeah. Concise, authoritative, insightful. Not bad, eh? That was Dan Pink. Yay. Right, so 3 things I'm going to hopefully get us all to believe by the end of today, alright? So we're going to see why Alexa will win. We're going to challenge the location myth, and make you give more money to an Alzheimer's charity. Hopefully that is vague enough to hold your attention for 10 minutes, alright? So first and foremost, who's got an Alexa in their home? Who thinks it's listening to them all the time? It is, pretty much. So it's not your friend, all right? And people go, ooh, Amazon, not our friend, but they give me stuff when I ask them to, and that sort of stuff. I have both of them, and I find them equally obnoxious and annoying, but they do play Spotify now, so, you know, shmee-shma. It's an interesting realm that we're moving into with voice, because it is a brand new ecosystem where people are going, how do we do this stuff? Like, what's going on? How are we going to figure this out? And who do I call for this shit? You know, and that sort of stuff. And people really don't like dealing with Google and Amazon, we're finding, and that sort of stuff, because they are big companies that don't give a rat's ass about them unless they've got a shit ton of money. And most people don't have that. So let me show you why I think that voice is an enemy for you from a brand perspective and that sort of thing, or from an agency one and that sort of thing. Okay. I'm going to go forward. Ooh. 42 seconds, because
here at L2 we're not afraid to talk about technologies that we think have been overhyped and are more fluff than substance into perfecting. The decline of brand began with the advent of Google, and every day fewer people put a prefix of a brand name in a Google search, and the same is going to happen with voice commands. Our research reveals that over the past year, non-branded product searches have increased in every CPG category. Prediction, the decline is going to accelerate. The death of brand is here, and it has a voice, specifically Alexa. Buy batteries.
Amazon's choice for batteries is Amazon Basics AA batteries, 48 pack. It's $13.60 total including tax. Would you like to buy it?
No.
I also found 20 pack of Amazon Basics AAA performance alkaline batteries. It's $7.61 total including tax. Would you like to buy it?
No.
That's all I can find for batteries right now.
You gotta love it, haven't you? If you're anyone else other than Duracell, you're absolutely screwed. So it's really coming down to like, how's your relationship with all these big people? And most people go, well, they call me if there's a problem, I guess, or I call them if there's a problem. But can you say you've got a rich and deep and meaningful relationship with Google? Probably not. Most people are paranoid that other people are going to see their porn choices when they use a computer and that sort of stuff. Should we do that? No, just kidding. So my argument and my prediction is they're going to absolutely start figuring this out and start charging you so that thing doesn't happen, basically. Because it can't be left to consumers to remember brands, because as we all find out over the last 10 years, they don't really give a shit about us. And that sort of stuff. So it's quite difficult. There is another video which I will link to if anybody's interested, which was the Burger King playbook, but for brevity I'm not going to show it today, and also I don't like giving them free advertising. Right, okie doke. My second trend for 2018, which is really sort of more to the back end of it and that sort of stuff, is coming up with these auto environments and that sort of stuff. Hands up, anyone driven in a driverless car? I can tell you, it freaks you out. It is amazing, but it is also quite terrifying at the same time. So when you actually, anyone seen this bobbing around? Uber LiDAR? terrifying. Those people don't need those drivers soon. They're going to get rid of them all, which is, why worry about TfL giving them all out of jobs? They're going to do it themselves. The trend behind this is time in cars is increasing and that sort of stuff. Not only if you live in LA and that sort of stuff, where your drives are sort of increasing all the time, but when you think about what the car's going to become, it becomes something almost ethereal and that sort of stuff. It's like, it's just a way of getting me to my next meeting. Maybe I don't even need to get somewhere for a meeting. I'm just going to travel around all day, picking up stuff, or maybe I'll pick up my chiropodist or something like that. Maybe I'll take the cat to the vet or something like that. These are changing times. When you think about a driverless car and that sort of stuff, you think about, will they look the same as cars do now? Will they be more like rooms? When you look at, I think it was VW, I can't remember, this car is actually docking with the side of a house and that sort of stuff. And that's not an idea that someone had in a crazy boardroom. They launched that at the German car show last year. So they're really thinking about how these cars are going to start changing our world and moving that forward. So 2018 is the year where hopefully legal sorts its arse out, and I'll ask the attorney at the back if he knows anything. But the law is the only thing holding it up, really. And if you want to see what type of person you are, go to that link there, the Moral Machine, mit.edu. Anyone done it? You'll find out who you're going to kill in an automatic car. It's absolutely fascinating. Whether you like people who break the rules, fat people, thin people, ladies, men, it's hilarious. You'll get a really good sense of who you are. But it does make you think about what you're going to be doing and sort of start thinking about advising clients and brands and agencies that you work with, like what you're actually going to be doing with these vehicles, because we're not going to own them, we're going to rent them from people. What does that mean? How do we get in part of those services? How do we entertain people in those? Because it's going to be longer things and that sort of stuff. So think about all the options with those cars and that sort of area. Okay, the final trend, and this is the most depressing one, so I thought we'll get it in early, that sort of thing, is hands up who's happier than they were last year. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, everyone pops up their hands and they're like, oh, other people? Most people actually, if you gave them a 1 to 10 and that sort of stuff, would usually be about 1 or 2 less happy than they are last year, based on the current media climate, Trump, nuclear war, lots of things, that sort of stuff. If you're in China, that's a very big problem because they've got a massive aging population, as we do here, and sort of coming in. So people are looking at the trends that they're going through in Asia quite significantly, and sort of parroting it back to our country over here and other ones with similar sort of demographics. People are living longer, lonelier lives and that sort of stuff. Sorry, sad facts, but we're all going to get there. But it's great we're living longer, right? Let's get a yay for that. Yay! Have we solved Alzheimer's? We're all fucked and that sort of thing. We won't know who's meant to be wiping our asses and that sort of stuff because we've got 20 years where we just won't remember anything. So if I can tell you to give to one charity, give it to an Alzheimer's charity, all right? So if you're thinking about it, what are the new services that's going to be required when you're an old, infirm, can't remember things person and that sort of stuff? Don't fix the problem, start giving to those charities and that sort of stuff. But let's look at how big that problem is first of all. These are the people that are living alone in China. They have hundreds of millions of people in this category at the moment, and that trend is only going up. Think of services and things that you could do to sort of help that out in that sort of area. Now, let's watch the sort of innovation that I like to sort of see in the world and that sort of stuff. Oh, you get a sad pug, sorry. Okay, what do we have?
In the last 10 years, the number of senior citizens living alone has doubled in South Korea, reaching 1.38 million in 2015, and leaving just 1 social worker for every 27 senior citizens.
부산의 한 주택에서 숨진 지 5년가량 지난 것으로 추정되는 60대 할머니의 시신이 발견됐습니다.
With more and more senior citizens left on their own, we asked ourselves what we could do to provide assistance to these men and women. Studies show that 98% of Korean elders own a television, regardless of their financial status. Moreover, turning on the television is usually the first thing they do in the morning. So we decided to use this device and the simple act of switching it on as a unique signal indicating that the senior person is all right. We called this service the Life-Saving TV. All we had to do is connect an IPTV set-top box to the television. Whenever the television is turned on, or if the television status hasn't changed for over 24 hours, an SMS is sent to a designated social worker or a family member.
할머니 어떻게 지내고 계세요? 네, 별일 없으시죠? 한번이면 정말 더.
Beautiful system, super easy to do, nice sort of use of innovation. Obviously they might have sold a couple of extra set-top boxes, capitalism still reigns. I will talk in a microphone. It often helps, doesn't it? Sorry. So they sold a few more set-top boxes even, and that sort of stuff. What's really interesting about that is the way that they thought about it. They fixed technology, and there's a little framework called technology, behaviour, and data that I like to bang on about, but when I have more than 10 minutes. What was I going to say about that? Think about the services that we're going to need, that you're going to need when we get older, because that is a massive demographic that is underserved by us, basically, and that sort of stuff. There are lots of agencies out there that claim to know old people and understand, but they don't get that gap between where we are, where we're going, and where they'll be at the end. So again, we need all of that sort of help to do it. I'm not particularly fond of old people, I'm not going to lie. I don't really want to get one myself, you know. I'm pro-euthanasia. But really there are billions of people out there that are going to need that sort of help and that sort of thing. Right, so if you want to hear more about me, and let's be honest, probably not, is the answer. Come next Tuesday to Moo in Farringdon, and we're going to get Giles from What 3 Words. Anyone has who's heard of What 3 Words location? Excellent. All of you should come if you haven't heard. It's an amazing system. And it's a new sort of meet-up. We've got heat, you know, so a bit of a difference, that sort of thing. But anyway, long story short, it's 8 a.m. till about 9:15. There's sales training, you learn new skills, critical thinking, and you really get to understand the new technologies that are coming down. You get to ask hard questions, they actually get answered, all of that sort of stuff. About an hour and a half total, and it also is in part for a Slack feed, which has all the future and innovation stuff that I glean from very smarter people than I around the world. 50 quid a month, and you get to network with a load of smart people as well. If you want any more information about that, feel free to come and see me afterwards. Thank you ever so much for listening. I've run over. I apologise.
Thanks very much, Paul. Francesca. So we're just going to load you up.